Hello, welcome to Kings Peak Language Art, and today we're going to talk about research with Mr. Varn. Steps to Successful Research Introduction. This lesson provides tips and information on how to conduct successful library research using library resources, including virtual library resources like you will have access to here at Kings Peak. Sometimes it can be difficult to begin a research paper or project. You may not know where best to begin or which resources would be best. Steps to Successful Research Introduction. Certain factors affect research on a paper, including time constraints, the length of the paper's hypothesis or main thesis statement, prior knowledge of the research subject, the style of the paper, the type and number of sources that can be used, and many, many other factors. On the paper you're writing for me, you're going to have a lot of control over the topic. I'm going to help you make it narrow enough to research, but you can research what you're interested in. Where to start? Here are some steps. Step 1, to successful research, review the assignment. View the specific assignment to ensure that you understand the instructor's requirements. Before your assignment, it is important to understand the requirements for that assignment. It does not matter how wonderful or detailed a job you do on an assignment if it does not meet the approval of your instructor or what you were asked to do. Here are some important considerations for an assignment. What's the topic? Has the instructor assigned the topic either general or specific, or do you have choice? And in this case, you'll have choice. Purpose. Is it an informational or persuasive paper, an essay, or another type of paper? How many pages are required? Are there suggested sources or restrictions on the number and type of sources? And when is the assignment due? 2. Select your topic. Sometimes this can be difficult, if not nail-biting decision. Your research will be easier if you select a topic that A, interests you, or something that you want to know more about, particularly if you have choice in the topic, which you do. B, meets your instructor's requirements, and you will have to get them approved by me. I don't want you to pick a topic that you just can't research. And sometimes you pick topics that you can't. And 3, has some significant information that is available, meaning that there's enough information to research. You gather ideas from a list of topics assigned by your instructor, and I'm not going to pick any topics for you, but I will, when we come closer to it, give you some guidelines on brainstorming. Textbook or assigned readings that you've done. We haven't done that many. Preliminary readings in general encyclopedias, general newspapers, or magazines. Bibliographies in the back of your books on your topic are the bibliographies on a Wikipedia article. I wouldn't cite a Wikipedia article, but I would use it to find ideas and topics. And also, many electronic databases provide subject, term, or topic guides for what you're searching. Step 3, refine your topic. Refine your topic from broad to narrow concepts. If you can narrow your topic by identifying key ideas or concepts included in a broader topic, you'll do better. For example, if you would like to write a 2-page paper on the topic of violence, but violence is such a large concept that it would be difficult to write an all-encompassing paper in 2 pages, it is best to break that topic down. It'd be hard to write a book on that, actually. Narrow topics for the subject of violence would be such as violence in the media, violence in video games, domestic violence, gun control, etc. Continue to refine your topic. Let's look at some examples. Below is a listing of related topics. Please choose a topic that you would consider the broadest, and your options are transportation, cars, vehicles, and the Ford Explorer. You guys remember Ford Explorers? And of course, transportation is the broadest term. Now choose a topic that would be considered the narrowest term: plants, flowers, orchids, agriculture. And the narrowest term would be orchids. Here are some sources that can help you narrow your topic: library catalogs, databases, encyclopedias, newspapers, and magazine articles. For example, the online catalog, if you perform a catalog search for topic violence, you will receive the following: crimes of violence, children of violence, conjugal violence, and many other terms. Examples: database, newspaper, magazine articles. If you perform a search for the topic violence using databases, Academic Search Premier, Master File Premier, New Search Premier from EBSCO Web, you will receive over 100,000 articles. So that's way too much to ever go through. If you search the word violence in the World Book Encyclopedia, you will be referred to the following subjects: crime, revolution, riot, and terrorism. Well, looking at Wikipedia can give you some things to narrow down, actually. So you can see here that you could probably use the General Encyclopedia not to do research, but to help you narrow your topic if your topic's really broad. Once you decide on your topic should be written as a research question. Defines the main idea of your paper, states what you will describe or prove in your paper, and should be stated in form of a question because you're looking up research. Once you have done some research on the statement, turn your research into a thesis statement. You may prove your original thesis statement wrong as you work, so be willing to revise it. This defines the main topic of your paper, just like the research question, states what you will describe or prove in your paper, so instead of asking a question, now you're answering that question, limits or narrows the scope of your paper, and makes a clear claim and an argument for why the research supports the answer to the research question. Right. Step 4, successful. Plan your research strategy. It will be very helpful to map out the main ideas of your topic. This can be useful in search of information. Make a list of keywords to your topic that you're using. Don't just use the first word that comes to mind, because then you'll probably get too much in Google and you won't know what to do with it, or you'll get nothing because you're not looking up good keywords. Synonyms are words with the same meaning or similar meanings and main ideas may really help you figure out how to look up your topic. Step 4, continue. Plan your research strategy. Develop search terms. Start with one search term, even though your results may be too broad, then add a second search term with Boolean operators and or. And narrows a search or broadens a search. Results of material include results of the text. Even though or broadens are rather than narrows your topic, it is important, especially when attempting to include all aspects of your topic, such as physicians are doctors, lawyers are attorneys, because you might get something with attorney in the title or lawyer in the title, and their synonyms. Add additional search terms as needed, and I'm going to go into Boolean terms even more in a minute. Use Boolean terms. Boolean search uses a combination of keywords and 3 main Boolean operators, and or not, to organize and sift through your searches. This is how Google works. It produces more accurate and relevant results, allowing you to navigate through appropriate candidates and disregarding what is unrelated. The first important thing to appreciate about Boolean search is there are only 5 elements of syntax, syntax means grammar, to use: and, or, not, parentheses, and quotation marks. By applying these appropriately along with keywords that you wish to consider, you can search a huge range of operations. There's no limit to how often you can use any of these elements in a search, and you can create very specific search strings. This will save you a lot of time filtering through results. I'm going to go through each operator. The AND operator takes 2 groups, adds them together. We are now asking LinkedIn database to search for all people who include both the words recruitment and HR. We have filtered out the excess and are left with more specific candidates who fall into a cross-section of both recruitment and HR. The OR operator. This is broadens your search. So AND narrows, or broadens. In this example, One group of people uses the keyword recruitment in their LinkedIn profile, while others have the keyword recruiting. Both words mean the same thing in terms of a skill set, but to an electronic database, they are completely separate search terms. So you would use the following Boolean string to help you fix this. Recruitment or recruiting. Now you're asking the database to search for candidates who include either the two terms in their LinkedIn profile or both simultaneously. Make sure the right candidate doesn't fall through the cracks because of semantics. And we're using candidates here because it's something that you might do. Someone's looking for someone for a job. But this works with all searches. Brackets. When using Boolean terms, there's no way to determine how the computer will solve our equation. This means in order to get the most relevant result for us, we have to use parentheses to tell the computer what to solve first. This is where using brackets comes into play. This is the only part that's really complicated, guys. Brackets are essential for writing complex strings, but their application often causes more confusion amongst recruiters. Essentially, a clause within brackets is given over the following elements. For example, if I was given the following, talent or HR and recruitment. Do I mean to say I want to find someone who has either the words talent or the word HR on their profile and has the word recruitment too, or do I mean to say that I have talent or HR and recruitment? You see, the absence of brackets makes it impossible for the database to know. In the following example, I have told the database to find someone who has either talent or HR, and that I need to have recruitment. So it would be talent or HR, those are in brackets, and recruitment. But in the following example, I told the database I need to find someone who has talent or a combination of recruitment and HR. So talent or HR and recruitment. The most common place that brackets are applied by recruiters in search of or strings. Basically, if you've written an or statement in your search, think about where the brackets would go if you have multiple or statements. All right, quotation marks. Quotation marks are allow for even more specificity. If the words you are searching for need to be considered as a whole, such as gas engineer, they must be enclosed within quotation marks. It means they're going to search for exactly that. If not, the database will review the space between the two words and the result as an and result in a larger number that covers both words, both gas and engineer, which would quadruple your research results, which you don't want. It's not ideal. So use quotation marks when you have two or more words in a search that need to be linked together, such as human resources or information technology. All right, 5. Successful data sources. You're going to use EBSCOhost, but there's general encyclopedias such as Encyclopedia Americana, Encyclopedia Britannica, World Book Encyclopedia, and Wikipedia. Specialized encyclopedias such as the Encyclopedia of Drama, the Encyclopedia of Philosophy, specialized dictionaries such as the Dictionary of Classical Mythology, and special interest periodicals which are like Classical Mythology Today, are newspapers. These are general interests, though, and are not considered scholarly. Then there are scholarly resources, which include books, search the online catalog for specific titles, scholarly journals, and the internet when sources have credible citations such as governmental sources, etc. Keep track of the sources you use for citing documentation. Get all the information, including when you access it. Write down all publication information, pages used, etc. Make sure you get the URL too, even though you might not need it. Know what style format is required for citations. For example, MLA is what we use, although there are other styles such as Chicago, APA, and Turabian. When your research is completed in your paper, or at least start outlining it. All right? Those are the 5 steps to help you get started on your research and knowing how to start doing research for a paper.